Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans around the world, I would like to personally welcome you to episode 37 of the greatest wrestling podcast in the tri state area, the hottag.podcast. Now, I know y'all ain't see us last week in the podcast sense, but y'all saw, listen, in the live stream sense. But if y'all don't know, I'm gonna let y'all know. This is the podcast. We talk about everything and anything pro wrestling. All right. As always, we're 37 episodes in. Y'all know I'm one half of your host, Rashaad, and the other half of your host, my tag team partner in crime, Justin. Justin, what's good with you, bro?
What it do?
What it
Like
do,
you
Flight
said,
Crew?
it's been a minute, man, since not a minute, but a little while since we did the pod in the regular form we do it. We did do a WrestleMania kind of watch party live reaction. We streamed it on our Twitch and our YouTube. There is night two up on YouTube right now. I'm trying to get the night one up. But yeah, if you want to go back and watch our reactions for that. But yeah, it's been a minute. A lot going on has happened since we've been here. Of course, WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we what can we say about WrestleMania?
Um, night two, night two saved WrestleMania weekend. I say that for sure. Night
It
two
did.
saved WrestleMania week. Night, I don't know what was going on night one. I don't know who was producing or writing night one. Night one just felt off. It felt like, it's something about it that was just off to me. Um, but night two was the savior, and night two lived up to the WrestleMania expectations. And like we saw a lot. Like I would highly recommend y'all watch night two live stream or live reaction because that one is the most emotional and like the most you listen, if you watch night two, you would understand our reactions.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I guarantee that you guys would enjoy watching the night two. Matter of fact, I would suggest playing night two again and then watching our reaction at the same time.
If you watch both nights, then I feel like we have this kind of the same reaction as everybody else. Night one left us feeling a little empty, little like we were wanting a little bit more. Whereas night two, I definitely felt like ended the show at a great high note. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns was incredible. We had big moments like Obafemi beating Brock Lesnar in like 3 minutes, and then Brock Lesnar retiring. Uh, which how do you feel about that? How do you feel about Brock's
I mean,
retirement?
it felt a little off. I definitely feel like it felt rushed in a sense. I feel like this wasn't the plan. I feel like nobody knew Brock Lesnar was retiring besides Brock Lesnar. You feel me? I feel like this was just an impulse moment where he was just like, you know what? Like I think it's time. I think like, the game is definitely, ahead of me. Especially when he threw up the X signal, because in wrestling, when you throw up the X signal, it's like either it's real or it's an injury.
Yeah, well, we're
So
we're going off script a little bit here.
yeah. So like so when he threw up the X to Paul, I said, oh, I said this actually is real. Like I like this is like we're getting Brock Lesnar retiring live right now. You feel me? So I think that was like a surreal moment. I think everybody was shocked. Bro, it was a point where like the arena was silent. You have almost 50, 60,000 people in there and it's silent.
Yeah.
Like that's how crazy it was to me. So
Um, I think Brock made the right call. Honestly, like having some time to think about it now, I think Brock made the right call. Uh, the hype for this match was as big as any match Brock was going to have on this last little run he was planning on having, maybe up to SummerSlam anyway. This was the match for Brock
Hmm.
Lesnar to retire. This was the guy for Brock Lesnar to retire to in the fashion that he should retire in when facing someone like Obafemi. Great call from Brock.
Yeah, man. Listen, we'll see in the next coming weeks. You know, if what happens. I mean, we do have SummerSlam in Minneapolis. That's obviously where Brock Lesnar's from. We'll see what happens in the next few months.
I think with Brock getting as much genuine appreciation from the crowd at Mania that he got, there's no point of trying to come back out and do the Gunther match where I just don't think. I think that was the perfect way to go out. It caught most fans off guard, so you got a genuine reaction from a lot of people to seeing Brock Lesnar leave his gloves and boots in the ring. So
What else did you feel? How else did you feel about WrestleMania?
I felt like the matches were a little short for a WrestleMania.
Hmm.
Most of the matches on night one not even going over 5 minutes. Like,
None of the women's matches went over 10 minutes.
yeah, that's kind of crazy, especially with these being high profile feuds. These are supposed to be the feuds that you care enough about to put on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
If it wasn't for Gunther and Seth Rollins on night one, this would have felt like Saturday night's main event.
this would have felt like a random. This probably would have felt like, yeah. You remember day one. Remember the PLE day one.
Yeah,
This would have felt like a day. This would have felt like a day one card, bro. Like this would have felt like some shit they put together and sent it at State Farm Arena.
like I said on the podcast before Mania, and we both kind of said it. We were already ready to get past Mania and
Hmm.
see what's on that horizon. And after watching Raw, after watching SmackDown, I can safely say that I am excited for what's to come.
And speaking of what's to come, we already know after WrestleMania, we get into what's called Doomsday. And that's our biggest headline for the day is WrestleMania Doomsday. What is WrestleMania Doomsday, you may be asking yourself? That is when WWE goes into the mode of releasing talent. And this week we got a lot of talent, a lot of unexpected talent releases that honestly has shocked both of us in a sense. So if you didn't see the list, thankfully you came into the right podcast because we have the list today. All right.
It's a little different now, right? Because before the alignment with TKO, it was just WWE making these cuts on their own. Now,
It's both. I mean, I
yeah,
think TKO spearheaded this one.
yeah,
I'm gonna be
of
honest.
course they're taking over things now, and
Yeah.
that's another thing I wanted to talk about once we get after you read the list. Who's responsible for these firings and how this whole thing really works now? But go ahead.
So we're gonna start from the bottom up, right? So you got some LFG guys. You got Tyson. You got LFG at NXT. You got Tyson Dupont, Malik Blade, Luca Crusfino, Serena Linton, Trill London, Tyreek Igwe, Chris Island, Tyra May, Steele, and then obviously we go into the NXT guys like Dante Chen and Andre Chase. And then we get into the WWE main roster releases. We have Apollo Crews, Alba Fire, Zoe Stark, Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, Aleistar Black, Motor City Machine Guns, Kairi Sane, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Nikki Cross, and topping it off is Bo Dallas.
The entire Wyatt Six.
The entire Wyatt Six got released. Like that, wow. That is and what makes it even worse is they were releasing people while SmackDown was going on.
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy.
I've never understood. I've never seen that. Like usually the releases are early in the morning, you from before the shows, so like production, everybody can get packages ready and they can make the adjustments. They were releasing people while SmackDown was going on.
I think it was probably more the news dropping at the same time. Talent probably knows a bit beforehand, but yeah, just getting news that there's talent being cut from the company or released from the company as the show is going on is you're actively watching it is crazy.
It's crazy to me. Like I've never that like I said, we've been through WrestleMania Doomsday. Like it's happened. It's been happening for multiple years. But like we get the releases early in the morning. We get them like midday. So like it's like okay, cool. I don't think we've never gotten um this during a middle of a show. So like we're literally watching SmackDown and I'm calling Justin. I'm like, here's who got released again, or here's who else got released while this show was going on. Which leads us to believe that like TKO, man, like they're different.
I want to get into this list, right? Because some of these I definitely could see as to why uh they were released, but some of these don't make any sense at all. I guess we could start with uh I guess the largest portion of that, which is the Y6.
Why six? You, you just had a few. Okay, so I understand you just had a few with the MFTs, right? You had all this build hype up and build up for them, and then just to have them stuck in a feud for 6 to 8 months and then release them, I feel like that was highly TKO. I think that was prematurely done. I think that we weren't able to get the beginning of the Wide Six when they first debuted on Raw, laying everybody out in gorilla. Like that was that was probably the biggest one of the highlights of their like time, other than winning the tag team championships. That like you had them come in as a wrecking crew. Like there were bodies and blood lay everywhere. What happened between then to 2 weeks ago when they had that final match against the MFTs?
I think it was a lot of things, right? So they come in and they have probably one of the best debuts or reveals of like all time. The whole long shot from the stage to the back, revealing each member and the carnage that they laid out and laying out the locker room. It was definitely the best possible way you could present this group.
Hmm.
Now, where things start to fall apart is their first feud, and I'm a Chad Gable guy through and through. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the company. But for making this faction main event caliber, the first feud they have can't be with
American
American
made.
Man.
Hmm.
They just can't. It has to be if you want people to be viewed as main event players, they gotta be in the main event. It's the whole reason Jey Uso's main event, Jey Uso, wasn't working for a while, is because he wasn't in the main events. Now he is. Now that means something. The Wyatts come in and they're what American made, and that feud kind of, there's some interest. Like Chad did as best as he could with it. Ultimately, it kind of just fell short. And then there's injuries to, I think, Bo Dallas, and they're taking off TV for a while. And then they come back on SmackDown, and you give them the tag titles, but it kind of don't do much with them. And then they go straight into this feud with the MFT, and it just drags on. So it's a mix for me of bad creative decisions from the jump and just unfortunate timing for the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they were set up too high just for them to fall extremely low as time went on.
You
I
got to
bad
think.
creative decisions.
You got to think. None of these guys were ever like the main guys.
No,
Bo was never a main guy. Neither was Loomis,
Loomis,
Gacy, or
Gacy was on
Rowan.
NXT, and it's yeah. So like,
And Nikki
I mean,
Cross was her whole shit was destroyed by making her a superhero for
pretty much,
2 years.
yeah. It was just it was just bad creative decisions and horrible timing.
And if you want it, and I don't like to compare to the Wyatt family and Bray because of just how nothing's probably ever going to come close to that.
Hmm.
But even Bray came in as Husky Harris originally, and Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were basically unknown to the WWE fan following, and even they were able to get established quickly because you got their first feuds are with Kane, Undertaker, John Cena, and Daniel Bryan, and
Roman Reigns, yeah. They
like
had yeah, like what, but like you said,
New
it's
Day Shield.
main event feuds. Main event feuds. If you want main event people, you have to put them in with the main event players, and that's exactly what WWE did. WWE did not do that with the Wyatt Six. You had them come in, destroy everybody in Gorilla, and then have them going up against Chad Gable, American Made.
I heard somebody call them spooky mid-card zombies.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly. And even then, like we didn't even see him for a minute. Even after, like, so
I mean,
it's just crazy.
I kind of, when I saw it, I was like, damn, the whole group.
But it
But
makes
I
sense though.
definitely, yeah, I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense.
How do you, obviously this is a lot, and some releases I like. I kind of already I expected, like Santos Escobar. He really wasn't on TV like that. He did some AAA things, but he was hurt. So I mean, he's underwent his second surgery. TKO knew that was they didn't do that. They didn't need him as much. Zoe Stark, she's obviously battling injury. Not much for her to do.
I do
They,
think releasing someone while they're injured, like Santos, is a little wild. I think Zoe was just cleared to
hmm
come back, so she was good. But like Santos Escobar, Rich Holland, people who were released while actively injured from working for you is, I don't, That's a little poor taste for me. I'm sorry. I'm just
Um, the biggest one that I really want to get your opinion on is
Apollo
your
Crews.
guys. Well, listen, you listen. First of all, don't
Nah,
even
I'm
do that
joking.
because I'm sick about Apollo, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
Bro, I don't
Like,
even know how Apollo made it this long. I'm not
listen,
gonna lie.
bro, that nigga's a gem, bro. I like you, man.
No, he's still
He
in
need to
great
go.
shape. He can still go too.
I'm saying like he's a gem, bro. He got to go somewhere and do something, man. He still got some time in him. But I want to ask you about the Motor City Machine Guns. How do you feel about that?
I've had some time to kind of cool out since I first heard it.
Hmm.
Um, and now I'm kind of in a place where I'm like, good. Like, I've been predicting the slow plotting death of the tag team division for
Hmm.
months now, right? Like, it's dying. The tag team division is dying in WWE. And I thought when they brung the guns in, it was to change that and put some life back into it because the guns are they're one of the best tag teams of all time. And they can still go and they're veterans and they understand tag team wrestling and how to get the most out of it. Established guys, but obviously the WWE, obviously TKO. Well, mainly the WWE. Obviously, the WWE doesn't care about the tag team division. If the WWE doesn't care about the tag team division, TKO is going to look like, okay, why are we paying this tag team all this money? Which I don't even know what they were making, but I'm sure it was most in some other tag teams. Why are we even paying them all this money? So I'm kind of happy that this wasted time that you took from my boys, I'm hoping that it's not affected their love of the game. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad that they can now go and hey, if you want a tag team division that's alive and thriving, I know one over there in Jacksonville. Despite what people may think about it being FTR and Cope and Cage at the top, there are still matchups like Motor City Machine Guns Young Bucks, Motor City Machine Guns FTR, Motor City Machine Guns Rascals, Motor City Machine Guns, uh, what else? Jet Speed. There's plenty of tag teams. Even Cope and Cage, I think that could have a great match with the Motor City Machine Guns.
I 100% agree with that. I think they should go um over there. But the biggest one that I was kind of shocked on in terms of releases is Kairi Sane. That's probably the
Mm.
biggest one I was shocked. I'm like,
For me, it
like we
was
just saw her.
yeah, Kairi Sane was definitely a big one for me. Aleistar and Zelina too, and I guess we can kind of touch on them last. But Kairi Sane is
Hmm.
definitely super shocking and caught most people off guard because of the fact that she was in the program with Oscar and Io Sky right now, and people were kind of hoping for a payoff with that of Kyrie turning face and turning on Oscar and joining Io Sky, and now they don't get it.
It's tough, man. That's why I really feel like this was like TKO spearheaded, man. Because I feel like Kairi Sane's one of the ones like you could do something with her. I now maybe I was hoping for her to break away from Oscar or even do a triple threat. Like,
Here's what I'm gonna say. I think that people putting a lot of the blame on Triple H for this.
hmm
Uh, I feel like you can blame him for how a lot of these people were being booked leading up to these releases. I'm not here to absolve him from that, right? But I think there's no reason why Triple H would actively use Kairi Sane, actively use Aleistar Black, Angelina Vega, and cut them. It just doesn't make sense. If Kairi Sane was on weekly TV every week, for him to say, "Oh, that's the one we're going to cut. We're going to cut Kyrie." I don't think that was the case. I think there was probably a meeting of board members, because there are board members for both these companies, both WWE and TKO, and decisions were made there. I don't think Triple H has the time at this point to worry about cutting people, because he's worried about writing the show, two shows. So yeah, that's my only thing. I saw some people like Triple H. Why would you? I don't think this is a Triple H thing. I think this is a TKO and WWE thing together. But I think this comes from a higher. All of this comes from a higher place, especially now with TKO, probably a little bit more heavy-handed on who we gotta cut or who they gotta cut.
It's tough, man. It really is tough. Just think about it. Just thinking about this is one of those times where we don't. I don't like it personally. Because you never know. You never know. Like you can see somebody, yesterday and then they be released tomorrow. So it's tough. It's tough. But listen, we don't want to harp on that. I mean, we harped on that a little bit, but I mean, like I said, it's one of the
Yeah, it was the
biggest
biggest
times.
things. Yeah, it was the biggest
Yeah,
thing
for the
from last
week.
week.
So
Yeah, it
um,
happens every year. There's going to be another one next year. You just gotta hope that your favorites escape by.
yeah, that was the biggest headline for us. But you want to give a shout out to um a company?
Yeah, so I wanted to give a quick shout out before we get into the show reviews for this week. I wanted to give a shout out to Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. For those of you who don't know what Bloodsport is, it's kind of a mixed martial arts meets pro wrestling kind of situation where it's a lot more of a rugged style. It's not as polished as what you may see on WWE or AEW. It looks more like a fight. It's not entirely real, but more blows are getting through than not. I will say that. But I wanted to give a shout out to Bloodsport because there was a lot of people from WWE, AEW, TNA, multiple indies coming together for Josh Barnett, the owner, to do something that was an alternative to what was already out there, and there was nothing else like it. And I can appreciate that. I'm not going to say I was the biggest blood sport guy and I was watching every event. I wasn't, but I definitely was keeping up with the clips, and they were doing some great things down there. It was kind of unfortunate to see uh, or hear Josh Barnett say that they were having their last show. I did hear him say on an interview with Ariel Hawani that it wasn't anything negative. They just weren't growing at a pace that he felt was sustainable. So he felt that he would close the doors on it now, which is commendable and respectable. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to that and say I hope that Bloodsport can come back one day because it provides a interesting alternative. And for a person like me that just loves wrestling, any way I can get it, we need more alternatives. We need more indies out there.
Hey man, shout out to Josh Barnett. Bloodsport. I mean, I never really watched it, but hey man.
They
If
had
you
some
shouting it out,
like I said, they had some WWE guys like Natty. The Natty gimmick that you see on WWE TV now was honed in Bloodsport. Shayna Baszler was a big part of that. Killer Cross, I think, did some things down there too. John Moxley, a bunch of different people stepped through there. Marina Shafir was a big part of Bloodsport.
yeah. Listen, that is the headlines for the week. Um, Not really a crazy week other than WrestleMania Doomsday, and shout out Josh Barnett and Bloodsport. Um, of course, now it's time to go into our weekly shows, and we're gonna head over to our AEW correspondent, Mr. Justin himself, for our AEW recap. What do we have on the list for our AEW recap this week, or the past 2 weeks, if you wanna, depending on how how froggy you feeling.
Well, I'll give a quick recap because y'all didn't get my Dynasty review. Or did y'all get my Dynasty review? You didn't get my post Dynasty review. Yeah. Darby Allen is the new world champion. I can't quite remember what was the last thing I talked about. But Darby Allen is the new AEW World Champion after defeating Andrade Idolo at Dynasty and earning his shot. He cashed in his shot at MJF on Dynamite in Washington, and Darby Allen did it. He wins the World Championship. A lot of people had mixed feelings. Some thought it was a little too early to take the title off MJF. Some thought that you can't really take Darby serious as world champion. Some people were happy to see Darby win the world champion. I'm not going to say I'm a Darby guy. I think what he does is insane, but I'm not a diehard Darby Allin fan. I'm actually an MJF guy, so I prefer to see MJF with the World Championship. However, I do think Darby was the main AEW, has been the main AEW guy, super loyal to the company, has put his body through things that I have never seen before for the entertainment of AEW fans, for the betterment of the AEW as a company. He's climbed Mount Everest and put an AEW flag on the top of it. Like, as loyal can get. I understand them putting the title on Darby. Darby said something before his match with MJF where he said if he wasn't ready at that moment, he would never be ready. And I agree with that. I think the time was now. I don't think he could have beat Moxley when everybody thought he should have beat Moxley. I think the time for Darby Allin to be world champion was now. And they pulled the trigger on it, and I'm not mad. It's just another case of AEW striking while the iron's hot. But moving on to Dynamite from this week, MJF, of course, opens the show pissed off that he was kind of blindsided into a match with Darby Allin. Kevin Knight comes out and challenges Max to a match because he says he was supposed to be Jet 2 belts, but Max took that away. And Max fakes like he's going to do the match that night, but of course walks out and the match gets made for next week. Definitely think that Kevin Knight will win this match. I don't see MJF losing the world title and immediately just going for the TNT championship. I think MJF is so far above the TNT championship that he should not be TNT champion. He should be the world champion, and I think he will be world champion whenever he gets another shot at Darby. Colt challenged FTR to a rematch for the tag titles at Double or Nothing in a street fight. If FTR win, Cope and Cage will retire as a tag team. So it looks like we know Cope and Cage will be winning those titles. Something I thought was really good was Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay, mainly for how Ospreay sold the damage to his neck from the Moxley match at Dynasty. They talked about it on commentary, and of course, Davis targets the neck the whole match. He even does a pile driver on the apron that causes the doctor to have to step in, and they say that Ospreay can't feel both his arms, and they stop the match. Mark Davis goes to attack Ospreay after the match and hit him with another power driver, but Marina Shafir, Jon Moxley, and the Death Riders show up and basically carry Will Ospreay out. I like this because it adds another arc to the Moxley and Ospreay feud. We knew it wasn't over following Dynasty, but I didn't want to just see them have another match. This adds another arc to the story. I don't know what they're gonna do here, but I'm just interested to see where it goes. It's something different. I wasn't mad at it. And then Darby versus Tommaso Ciampa for the AEW World Title main evented, and this was a great match. I can't even lie. This was a great match. It was chaotic from the jump. Darby's wrestling like he knows he won't have a long reign, and I like it because I don't think he will have a long reign either. Darby jumps off the ring post on the Ciampa through a table in the timekeeper's area that ends up busting Ciampa open. He starts bleeding like crazy. Ciampa does a white noise from the second rope to the floor. There's a near fall where Ciampa sends Darby headfirst into the exposed turnbuckle and follows with a knee strike. Darby kicks out at two. Darby kicks out of Project Ciampa into another knee strike. Then Ciampa tries to go for the Scorpion Deathlock on Darby, which Darby reverses into his own Scorpion Deathlock. And Ciampa taps out, and Darby wins. Super entertaining match. I think this will be the kind of the story of Darby's title reign. Is going to be short and sweet. It's not going to be a long title reign. He'll probably drop the belt back to MJF the next time they have a match. But the matches that Darby have on the lead up to that, the title matches he has, will be extremely entertaining. As for Tommaso Ciampa, shout out to that brother for leaving WWE and kind of getting a second lease on his career. And he looks great out there. Great pickup from AEW. And yeah, that's my AEW recap for this week. Good show.
Hey man, shout out to our AEW correspondent for giving us our AEW recap for the past 2 weeks and the PLE. You feel me?
Yeah, that was a lot,
Um,
man.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the PLE. I've been busy in personal matters, but it's all right. I'm gonna try to catch the next one. I'm gonna try to catch the next one. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's get into Raw. This is the Raw after WrestleMania. This is usually doubted and touted as the Raw, the biggest Raw of the year because you never know. All right. And listen, we started off with the biggest and the baddest and the ruler of WWE, Oba Femi.
Yeah, that's probably the best choice for them. There was a couple ways you could have started the show. I think Oba was the best choice. They were cheering for him before the show. As the show was opening, you were hearing Oba chants.
Literally.
So
Oh, but oh, and what else? And I'm not gonna lie, he pulled a Roman Reigns, bro. He pulled a Roman Reigns. After he defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, he walks into the ring. He says 4 words. and drops the mic. Your ruler has arrived. And that's it. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. That's how you start a show. You let them know I'm here. I'm not with the games of the gimmicks. I'm here to dominate. And that's all he needed to say. Your ruler has arrived. And that's all we got from over Femi. And that's all we needed. Give him the belt. Maybe not the World Heavyweight Championship just yet, but give him a belt. Any belt you want to give him.
Yeah, that I don't know. I definitely think it did what it needed to do. Um, what I don't want to see is them make Oba into a person that doesn't talk,
Hmm.
because I think he's an excellent talker and he can sell himself. So I don't want them to get into the mode of trying to have him talk less and be more methodical, and even at some point giving him a manager to talk for him. I don't think Oba needs any of that. He's a very well educated, well spoken man. He can speak for himself.
I agree. I agree. And we saw that in the last Monday before Mania when they did the separate contract signing and he was talking to Paul Heyman. He can definitely cut a promo.
He can cut a regular promo, and his promos don't have to be 3 words or super spaced out and slow. No, he can cut really good promos. So I'm
Um,
not saying that's what is going to happen every week. This is going to happen, but um, I'm just saying I hope it's not what it turns into.
yeah, but I just before we got into our recapping what we liked, I just wanted that to start off the recap to show. Listen, this is how we starting off Raw with the ruler. But we had some new faces. We had some new things going on. What was your favorite things that happened in this Raw after WrestleMania?
I definitely like the call ups. I thought all the call ups they did were really good. The first one we see is Ethan Page being called up. He has an interaction with Javon or with Penta and then Javon Evans that leads to a match between the two of them. And the match was great. They have history from NXT. They talk about it on commentary, which I thought was good. Establish Ethan Page is someone who's been around the block with some of these guys on the main roster early. I think way too long Ethan Page spent in NXT. He was main roster ready from the time he came in. Him and Ricky Saints, in my opinion. But everything he did with in NXT was great. Longest reigning North American champion of all time. I'm glad to see Ethan Page on the main roster finally. I think he's going to do great things. I think he's going to be great. Hopefully, WWE.
Listen, since we talk about NXT call ups, I was excited to see my girl on that stage in that arena, in that ring. My girl Soul. Ooh, man. First of all, I am a big Sol Ruca fan. I fuck with Sol Ruca. And to see her go toe to toe with the new women's world champion, Liv Morgan, I said, yeah, listen, this where we need to be at. We need to be in this world championship stage immediately. And that's what we did. So shout out Sol Ruca, man, because she put on a hell of a match with her and Liv Morgan. Like, I thought that was fire.
For a second, I thought they were going to pull the Page
Uh-huh.
and have her win the world
Have her
title
win the title.
on the first night, which would have been crazy. Um,
You were talking about headlines.
Pop would have been crazy though. I'm not gonna lie if they
Like
would have did it.
that.
But nah, they not gonna do Liv like that. She just won the title. If she had
Yeah.
retained the title coming out of Mania,
She was losing for sure. I'm not gonna lie.
those,
She was,
yeah. But she
yeah.
just won it. So yeah, they weren't gonna do it then. But yeah. So Ruka comes out to congratulate Liv during her celebration, and Liv turns it back on So Ruka. and Adam Pearce makes a match between the two of them, and Sol Ruca got a lot of offense in for the first
Mm-hmm.
half of the match. Sol Ruca does a crazy spot in this match where she counters the Oblivion into like a front flip head stand,
It's crazy.
and then goes straight into the Soul Snatcher, and the crowd goes crazy because that's the move they were waiting on. They were waiting on the move.
Yes.
Um,
Everybody's waiting on that move, man. That move is different. Of course, it gets ruined by Zarya though, because they have a match at which I don't know if you
they
saw.
had a match, yeah,
They had a match. I don't know if you saw the match. I don't know if you saw the fall
yeah,
from the ending spot. Oof.
yeah. That was sick.
Yeah.
That looked sick. But yeah, like you said, Sol Ruca follows Liv to the outside with a cartwheel moonsault, takes out the Judgment Day, and then she throws Liv back in the ring. That gets the ref distracted, and Zarya comes out and attacks her. Sol is able to get in the ring at 9, which is a play on their last women's standing match that they had, and Liv hits the Oblivion for the win. Hey, so Ruka rubbing arms with the world champ early,
It's
and
been
they
a
even
great
did the
time.
same thing for Fatal Influence and JC Jane
On
on
SmackDown, yeah.
SmackDown. And we'll talk about that in a
Um,
little bit.
One of the biggest highlights for me from this week was obviously, Braun Breaker came back at WrestleMania, attacked Seth Rollins. So obviously we're reigniting that feud. Seth comes out, he attacks Braun Breaker in the Vision because they're cutting a promo, and the Vision is jumping Seth Rollins. And what do we hear? Don't. We get the return of the Street
Street Profits.
Profits.
Yeah.
The street. Listen. Y'all know this is a podcast. Y'all know we like tag team wrestling. There is nothing more than seeing a team that you wanted on screen for months now, and that's the Street Profits. And I'm so happy that the Street Profits are back. They're here to save tag team wrestling, especially the tag team division on Raw, because that division is shit. So I'm so happy to see my boys Dawks and Ford. Feel me? They back in action. First of all, shout out Montez for putting in the work, because I don't know if y'all saw what he looked like a few months ago with the weight gain. You feel me? My boy was eating good. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's eating good, but he locked into the gym. But hey, also shout out to Dawks, because Dawks got in that gym too. You feel me? He put in the work.
I wish I could be happier about seeing the Street Profits back because normally I would think, okay, we're gonna get some banger tag team matches because the Street Profits are back. I don't feel that way. I do. I think Division versus Street Profits will be good, but I don't. I just don't see the path here, man. They just cut the Motor City Machine Guns. They obviously don't care about the tag team division. So them bringing the Street Profits back is kind of bittersweet because it's like, yeah, they're going to be back. But what are they going to come back and do? Win the titles and then do what? Just endless feud with division. Okay. LA Knight and the Street Profits versus division coming soon. I can guarantee you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna hate that so much, man.
I can
Honestly, I really think
guarantee
it's
you.
gonna be. I think it's gonna be Seth Rollins and the Street Profits versus
Throw him in
Braun
the
Breaker
eight
division.
men. Oh, no, it's only three of them.
There's only three of them, so I think it's gonna be Seth Rollins. How much you want to bet? That's gonna be a
Interchange Seth
match.
Rollins for LA Knight.
That's gonna be a match tomorrow. How much you will bet? It's gonna be Seth Rollins and the Street Profits versus Division. How much you will bet? It's gonna be a match tomorrow. Since we record this on Sunday, it's gonna be a
Listen,
match on Monday.
I see the path. I see the games they play. Officer Hood, it's your training
Look,
day.
it's your training day. You listen, hey, yeah. I mean, I listen. I want them to win the belts now, but obviously, I'm guessing it's not going to happen sooner than later. But we gotta do something, man. We gotta do something.
We get another call up. Joe Hendry is announced to be having his call up in his concert on Raw tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So from Raw to Raw, we get Joe Hendry and Ethan Page and Sol Ruca
Mm-hmm.
called up
So
from NXT. 3 great call ups. Definitely like Joe Hendry on Raw. He'll fit great into that mid card for them. So
mm-hmm.
Ruca, great immediately interjection into the mid card or world title scene. However, they depend on using her, and I can see Ethan Page as Intercontinental Champion by the end of the year.
I agree. I can see
So,
that too.
Raw was Raw after main. Oh, not done.
We
How
did.
could
Oh
I
no,
forget?
we don't. Come
How
on
could
now.
I forget?
Listen, I was, I
My
was, I
fault.
was trying to let you get your bars off.
Scrolling a little too far on the notes. Go ahead.
I was
Go
trying to
ahead.
let you. I was trying to let
Go
you
ahead.
feel
Get
me.
it
I
off.
ain't think you was gonna end it. You can't end Raw without talking about the new World Heavyweight Champion, the greatest, the OTC, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, who defeated CM Punk at WrestleMania, and is now running the show once again. He comes out, you feel me? Yeah, listen, you see him pull up in the Escalade in the truck. We get the entrance from the parking lot to the arena. I mean to the stage. You feel me? He walking out. He got his cousins. He like, come man, come out here, man. Let's talk. Let's chat up a little bit. Feel me? Roman wants the bloodline to be back together, but this time, listen, you not serving me. We running this thing together.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's time. We separated. We need to be together like this. We stronger together than separated. So feel me? He like, listen, let's run it back. Jimmy like, you already know, man. You the twos. They the twos. Cause we the ones. And of course, for me, they get into they get in the form of fashion, man. Throw them ones up, throw the ones up. But of course, as soon as James get ready to throw his one up, we hear that two. We hear Jacob Fatu coming out. First of all, the Nike Tech was fire. Fire.
Dope Nike Tech with the airbrush. There was a lot of speculation on who was going to be the first person to challenge Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be Gunther? Would it be Obafemi? I can assure you, no
No one.
one expected it to be Jacob Fatu, and that's why I like this segment.
I agree because not only does it throws you off to like, oh, this is new, but it sets up Jacob Fatu to be a main event player. Because who do you throw him in the ring with after his win against Drew McIntyre? One of the biggest main event players in the company, Roman Reigns.
I
You feel
felt
me?
like it was unexpected, but at the same time made the most sense. Jacob, of course, Jacob is going from Roman Reigns because he looks at Roman Reigns like the head guy, and he got in there with Roman Reigns when he first got into the company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he hasn't already been in there with Roman. He has, and now coming off the biggest win of his career at WrestleMania over Drew McIntyre, a former world champion, WWE champion, instead of him trying to go over there and beat up on Cody Rhodes, who's already beat to
Mm-hmm.
shreds, I'm going after the big dog. I'm going after the biggest fish in the ocean.
And essentially, he
Family.
co- family of that. And he's like, listen, I don't really want the title. I need the title. I need the upgrade. I need the private jets. I need the money. I need the kids in the better school. I need to eat. And that's what we're getting from Jacob Fatu. I need to eat.
Yeah, the best line of the whole thing from him for me was, I don't want to be the tribal chief. I want what comes with being the
Hmm.
tribal chief, right? There's a difference. I really like that from Jacob because Jacob doesn't strike me as a guy that like Jay Uso, who wanted to be the guy in the family. I want to be the number one guy in the family, and that comes with being world champion. No, I don't need that. And the same thing with Solo. I don't need that. I need the benefits of being the tribal chief, not the title. I don't need the title. I don't need the Ulafala from you. I want the world championship because that's the spot.
Yeah, man. That's for me. Honestly, I can't wait for that feud. I definitely hope they get it going at Backlash, which I'm pretty sure they will because Backlash is in Florida. You feel
Yeah,
me?
and
And like,
I like Roman's response too, of him saying like, "Listen, it's not just about beating me. It's about carrying the weight of this championship. If you can't beat me, you got to acknowledge me
mm-hmm.
like everybody else does." And I think Roman will win. I think will probably lead to them trying to make Jacob fall in line, which I don't know if that will really work out the way they think it will. We didn't talk about the CM Punk promo, believe it or not.
um, yeah. I mean, listen, it essentially is pretty much. Listen,
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
oh, you're
on,
right. You're right.
hold
You know,
on.
I'll let you cook. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll let you cook. Go ahead. You let me cook. I'll let you cook.
My disrespect for even glossing over this, but this we had so much to get through from this pod because it's been a little minute. For all the people who thought he was going to be taking time off after this match against Roman Reigns, I guess all those people were wrong because CM Punk is back on Monday Night Raw right after. He comes out, and I like how they're doing his entrance now, where he comes out uh, first, and the music trying to kicks in delayed after it's clobbering time. Uh, Punk cuts a promo about how he wasn't supposed to be champion in the first place, but he stayed ready for an opportunity. And when one just happened to fall out of the sky, he took it and he ran with it all the way to the main event of WrestleMania. He says he lost to Roman Reigns, who was the better man, but now he just plans on staying ready because, again, you never know when a title shot might fall out of the sky. And right as he says that, out comes WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Cody comes out and he's basically saying that he wasn't expecting to see Punk as optimistic as he was because of the fact that he lost at WrestleMania. Cody says, despite Punk being the one who lost, he's the one that looks and feels more like a loser. Punk tells him to be proud because he beat a legend in Randy Orton, and that now he just needs to keep winning. Punk says for him, he has to stay ready and repeats again about the championship opportunities falling from the sky. But this time when he says it, he stares down at the WWE Championship. He goes to walk away, and Cody stops him on the ramp and says, "Hey, anytime, any place, just say when." Basically setting up Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. I don't think we'll get it soon. They'll probably try to run it back, or run it at WrestleMania, because that was the original WrestleMania plans for this year prior to Seth Rollins' injury. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because we're getting the early seeds for that.
I just had to sit back quietly and let you cook. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, I
I
just wanted
apologize.
to. I didn't want to get through this without touching on it because they are, like I said, they are planting the seeds for probably WrestleMania 43.
Both like that's Saudi though. Is that's Saudi? I think that's Saudi.
Yeah, that's Saudi.
Wow. So here's my question: Who's the heel? Who's the face? Because you know they got to do it.
CM Punk. I think just CM Punk makes it better, yeah.
I gotta agree with you there. I think Cody. I think this new image. I think we get a new image of Cody against Punk. I think we need that. That's the only way this feud gets that rejuvenation that we need. Cody becomes the heel.
See, I don't know because I think a lot of people have been wanting to see Punk as a heel. I think it does a lot more for this feud to have Punk as a heel because he's out of Randy Orton and John Cena at this point. I think CM Punk could play the heel character better than both of them. Where Cody's your kind of standalone good guy, and
I
he's
just
already said he's not changing. You gotta at some point read the writing on the wall.
I think we need everything new. We need black hair, do some darker suits. I think Cody should do that curveball and Cody become the heel because we would already expect CM Punk to be the heel. I think we need Cody to be that heel, man. I'm just saying. But now, since you gave the CM Punk Cody segment, what is your recap? Now that you done did
Oh
it,
yeah, my bad.
or
So
your rating?
yeah, so I would give Raw a 9 out of 10. I feel like it was a really good show. I feel like they handled the call ups really well. I feel like Oba got his moment to start the show, and it went over well with the fans and live attendance. I feel like they ended the show great with Roman and Jacob. I feel like they in the middle of the show with Cody and Punk. Like you got a lot in this Monday Night Raw, so I really liked it. So 9 out of 10 for me.
I'm gonna go 8.7 out of 10. I feel like I went a little bit more. Like like the wrestling. Okay, yeah, and I agree with that in a sense, but I feel like we should have got a little bit more. All right, man. Let's get to SmackDown, man. Listen. SmackDown was better than the past few weeks that we've been seeing. How
Was
do you feel
it?
about SmackDown? I mean, yeah.
Was
I'm
it
not going. I'm
really
listen,
though?
listen, 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 listen. I'm not going to say that it was astronomically better or exponentially better, but it was better than what we've seen the past few weeks. And maybe that's because of the call ups. You feel me? Maybe that's because of JCJ and Fatal Influence, right? Like maybe that's because like we got Jacob and Solo. We got that little like the ending, especially the ending when Jacob turned up. You feel me? Like maybe that's why it was better. Maybe the wrestling was better in a sense. We got a new champion, Tiffany Stratton. You feel me? We got a new United States Women's Champion. So like in terms of like what we've been seeing before, this show was better than what we've seen.
I'll give it to you. I'm not. You're right. You're right. The show was definitely better than what we've been seeing. I feel like it didn't touch Raw, in my opinion, but it was definitely better than what we've seen. And I did actually like some things on this card, so on the show. So Jacob
We started
starts the
off good.
show
Yeah. Uh-huh.
talking about what Roman said to him on Raw. He says that people have been telling him he's not ready and not good enough his whole life. He challenges Roman to step in the ring and prove that he's not ready to him. And then the Usos come out. Jimmy tells Jacob that he wants all the same things that Jacob wants for his family, for him too. But the path is through Cody Rhodes. He's hurt right now, and he's the one that Jacob should go after. Jay on the flop side, though, which I kind of like this angel on my shoulder, devil on my shoulder kind of contrast between Jay and Jimmy, where Jay's basically telling him, like, hey, man, fuck all that. It's too late for all that. You called him out. You stepped to him. Now you got ain't no backing down. Now you got to prove it. You got to step up, and you got to be ready for war. Solo and MFT come out and say that the Usos never wanted Jacob here in the first place, and that Solo's the one that brought him here. He tries to get Solo to join MFT, but Tama Tonga grabs the mic and says, "There's no point. Jacob can't beat Roman. He can't even beat Solo," which causes Jacob to super kick Tama and challenge Solo to a match in the main event. I'm not gonna lie, when WWE and the Samoans get to enter and stay in the BLU Bloodline universe, they're all family and they're all comfortable with each other. The promos are a lot smoother, and you can feel there's an extra, realism, of course, obviously, but yeah, I didn't like the segment.
Did you see towards the end of Jacob's promo, in that whole segment, Jay and Jimmy back there smiling?
Yeah, when Jacob was doing this,
Yeah,
I'm
they
all
was
gas, no brakes with it.
so.
Yeah,
I'm like, nah, man. They so proud, man. I know they all proud, bro. That whole segment.
for the younger cousins and the younger brothers to still be making their way up
Yeah,
the card, this definitely
it's
a dope
fire.
thing for them. Julia versus Tiffany Stratton was the first match on the show
Yes.
for the U.S. Championship, and Tiffany wins the U.S. title here from Julia. Uh, I think that hopefully Tiffany winning the U.S. title will put some more eyes on the U.S. title division, and maybe they'll actually do something with it. How did you feel about your girl Tiffy winning the U.S. championship?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it at that. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. We needed some gold around her waist, and we got it. So we needed that. Listen. I don't. We Now we can let Tiffany run with this championship. Not listen. Julia wasn't really doing much with it. Now, granted, it's not her fault,
I was about to
but she
say, I
wasn't doing
mean,
much with it. Hey, listen, we gonna let Tiffany cook a little bit with this title, man. All right, I'm happy for it. I'm ready for it. I'm excited to see what we do. And I think the first feud she should have is with Kiana James. That's what I'm thinking. Kiana James, Tiffany Shred.
I don't know if I want a whole feud. I definitely would like a title match. Listen, these are not titles I feel like need crazy feuds, man. U.S. title and the Intercontinental Championship more than they need great consistent matches and at least one meaningful feud in between. Moving on from that, there was supposed to be an impromptu tag title match between Charlotte and Alexa and Paige and Brie Bella,
Hmm.
but that is interrupted by our first NXT call up from SmackDown, Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and I'm drawing a blank on the third person's name.
Um. Oh. Oh. I am too. Damn.
Influence. Laney Reed. My bad.
Laney. I don't know why. I knew it started with an L, but I was thinking Lacey. I don't know why I was thinking Lacey.
Lacey Evans.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's it. Yeah. That's the name. But nah, Laney Reed, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, Fatal Influence, interrupt this match, attack Charlotte and Alexa and Brie and Paige and take them out. And that's your first NXT call up. The entirety of Fatal Influence, which Fatal Influence is a much needed call up for the SmackDown Women's Division because it is bare bones as bare bones can get. And Fallon and Laney can challenge for the tag titles, and JC can go after most likely the U.S. title now that Tiffany has it.
I can see that too.
I don't see her stepping up to Rhea Ripley and winning at all. But we did see a preview of what that would look like because they did end up having a match on this show. We can kind of get to it because Rhea Ripley comes out to celebrate her title win, and she says that she's going to be a fighting champion, of course, and that's when Fatal Influence come out, and JC tries to cut a promo, but she was getting like Pat McAfee booed out the building, like Logan Paul booed, some of the most vicious boos I have ever heard. I don't know why.
It's because Mommy was in the ring.
But that was insane. Like, I'm okay with them booing her because she was a heel in NXT, but this was like, damn.
Like damn, man. Damn, you let me finish. Let me at least say something.
Like they tried to cut a promo, but it just didn't. You could barely hear anything. A match ended up getting made between Rhea and JC Jane. The match was actually really good. Like, they booed her out the building when she came out, but by the end of the match, they were chanting, "This is awesome." So JC did her job, and they probably just made her into a future star off of that reaction alone. Yeah, Fatal Influence end up attacking Rhea Ripley as Rhea kind of was about to win the match, and they jump her and they leave her laying. So a great image for JC Jane and Fatal Influence off jump on the main roster is leaving the women's champion, one of the biggest stars in the entire company, Rhea Ripley, laying on your first night. So WWE does see her in the women's title picture off the rip. I'm not mad at it.
Essentially, I can see that too. I definitely see her being in that title picture soon.
JC's like a 3-time NXT champion, women's champion. So she's ready. She spent a lot of time down there.
I can see that happening.
She's definitely ready.
And listen, I'm excited to see what WWE has in store for JC Jane and Fatal Influence.
We had a Cody Rhodes promo, still sporting the nastiest black eye I have ever seen in my life.
Thing nasty.
And the most important thing from this promo that Cody said, because it wasn't the craziest promo to write home about, but he does take a shot at TKO in his promo. I got it here. He says, "The most important message I want to send is to those outside forces that kept interceding and interjecting into my WrestleMania plans that want to get involved in this nightmare family party. I'll make it simple. You guys are 0-3. Sing your best or count your money and mind your damn business."
Facts.
Woo!
We need that ether in the background.
Yeah. We gotta get a soundboard with that. Listen, could not have said it better myself. Because I know Cody is over this whole thing. Because, like he said, 3 WrestleManias in a row, they have tried to put in some bullshit that they want that no one asked for. Shout out to Cody for getting that off his chest. I thought it was dope. And it's true. Trick Williams has his championship celebration following his win over Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Trick is here with Lil Yachty, who I did not expect to be back following WrestleMania, but was pleasantly surprised to see.
Listen, Yachty said he with Trick full time now. I mean, he gonna be the manager.
Yeah,
I said,
Trick
oh,
says not Trick. Yachty says he's here to stay, which is crazy.
hey man,
we can expect Lil Yachty on weekly SmackDown television alongside Trick. He says he's going to be the Quincy Jones to Trick Williams, Michael Jackson, which is
which is
a
a
great
fire
line.
reference.
Yeah, great
Feel me?
reference. Pop
100%.
culture. That's what Yachty's going to bring to the WWE, to SmackDown, to Trick Williams is pop culture relevancy, because Yachty is around pop culture still, right?
Yes.
I definitely think the fitting of him and Trick works. Yachty's going to have to find his niche, his
His niche.
lane,
Yeah. Yeah.
over the course of things, but I think he can do that. I think he's adjusted great up to this point. So
I think so too. Yeah. No, I think listen, and I think that's great that, yeah, like Trick can talk, but adding Yachty in that pop culture sense, and like they obviously they mesh well together. I mean, you heard the diss track.
this track was great. I don't think Yachty is going to be a man. I don't look at Yachty more as a manager than I look at him
He's
as
more like a
a
hype man.
hype man.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the hype man.
Trick doesn't need a mouthpiece. He doesn't need to talk. He needs a hype man to kind of instigate, an instigator. That's
Uh-huh.
what Yachty will serve a role as, and I
And,
think it will be great.
and hey, listen, we got that instigation because the gingerbread man turned out to really be the gingerbread man. Sami Zayn under that costume.
Yeah,
And he started
Trick
wilding.
came out with a gingerbread man, and once the gingerbread man had his own locker room that
Yeah.
he came out of, I said, "Oh yeah, Sami Zayn's in that costume."
100%.
And then you watch him dance on the stage, and then you confirm Sami Zayn is in that costume.
I
And then
said,
by the
yeah,
time he hits Trick in the back while he's celebrating with the candy cane, just hilarious. He takes the head off, and we know it's Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn hitting a haluva kick in a gingerbread man costume was hilarious. I love this
and
segment.
the booze is still raining.
Yeah, I guess this is the unofficial Sami Zayn heel turn.
Mm-hmm. Because he listen, it was booing him. He's getting ready to get out the ring. He went back, hit Trick again. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know, man. I
Listen,
don't
bro.
know how this is going to go. I know post this feud, for this feud, this works. Let me say this. This works. Trick being the
Mhm.
good guy and Sammy being the bad guy works. Here's the thing. If you pair Trick with Yachty, and Yachty's an instigator, a shit starter, a troublemaker, and they're booing him but cheering Trick in the long run, the dynamic
Mhm.
is going to be off. That's why I was really trying to stress somehow, some way they needed to make this crowd boo Trick Williams. I know I say that if you can't force them to do something, but the best option they had was keeping this feud with Sammy going while they're still booing Sammy and cheering Trick.
Mhm. Mm. Yeah, we switched it now. Now they booing Sammy, Chin Trick, like you said. So we actually get a promo card for next week, and the man himself, Mr. Ricky Saints, coming to SmackDown. So we have Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, Sol Ruca on Raw, Fatal Influence, Ricky Saints, and
The glamour, the glamour, the glamour, the glamour, the glamour, the glamour is here, baby.
yeah, she's
Mariah,
here.
oh, my bad. Blake Monroe
Hmm.
is coming to SmackDown to save the women's division.
So,
Don't worry.
so the call ups after WrestleMania for Raw: Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, and Sol Ruca. For SmackDown: Fatal Influence, Ricky Saints, and Blake Monroe.
Yeah, I talked about Ricky Saints earlier when I talked about Ethan Page when I said they came in main roster ready, but there is benefits to spending some time down in NXT. I watched Triple H talk about it. He said AJ Styles told him that any talent that came over from anywhere before they came to the WWE should spend some time down at NXT just to get that style. Now, did they spend a little too much time down at NXT? Ethan Page, Ricky Saints for shit show. But they're here now. Ricky, I'm super happy for Ricky. I've been a Ricky Saint Starks fan since AEW, since he came into AEW and wrestled Cody in his first night. That's how long I've been a fan of Ricky Saints. And I think he's great on the mic. I think he's can go in the ring. Like, I see big things, man, from Ricky Saints. He just oozes charisma, a natural charisma that I only see in like Ethan Page, Oba Femi, Javon Evans.
I agree. Listen, man, these these next few
Trick
months,
Williams.
man. Yeah, these next few months of WWE should be very interesting. I'm very excited to see what's going on. But of course, we close out the show with the main event of SmackDown: Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. And I'm be honest with you, I always love watching, you feel me, the BLU work with each other. Um, so I obviously I fuck with this match. This is a solid match. I fuck with more was the turn up after the match when Jacob Fatu went full Samoan werewolf mode. You feel me? He was taking everybody out, taking
Yeah.
everybody out,
Uh,
and that
go ahead. Go ahead.
and that standoff, that standoff with the Usos on the ring apron,
Mm-hmm.
let pretty much confirm to them to tell Roman we all in. You feel me? All gas, no brakes with it.
Jacob ends up getting the win in this match, and then he gets attacked by MFT, and the Usos come down to help, but Jacob proves I don't need your help. I don't need anybody's help, and he bitches the entire MFT by himself.
Listen, I think we need to hurry up and have Tama turn on Solo so we can get this up out of here, man. Because I mean, you obviously planting the seeds for
I just think it's too much, man. It's too much bloodline everywhere, man.
it. Listen,
But
and
SmackDown,
you know it's going to be more Samoans coming up soon. I know you
I
do,
think Zilla's going to NXT.
which makes sense.
I think
He
it's
needs
about
to,
that time for Zilla to go to NXT.
yeah, especially with the
They,
call ups they got.
yeah, they just wiped out damn near the whole fucking top of the card for them.
Yeah,
So they need that guy. They have a lot of young guys they got to build up, but they need that one guy that can come in with some star power to get some eyes on the show, and I think that is Zilla Fatu.
100%, 100%. But yeah. So SmackDown rating, what you got?
Eight, 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna match that. I'm gonna match that. I give it 8 out of 10 too. I was teetering like 7.8, but I give it an 8. I round
Mainly
up.
because I would have liked to see Ricky Saints on the show.
True, but he'll be the next week.
Yeah,
At least we saw that he's going to be there.
yeah.
Because I was a little like, I'm like, well, damn, they calling everybody up. Where my boy Ricky at? And then of course later we get that promo card.
Don't
So
worry, the revolution is televised.
hey, listen. So that wraps up our weekly recaps. That was a long one, but listen, y'all ain't see us for 2 weeks, man. You feel me?
Yeah,
You
we
know we
had a
got to
lot to
come
get off
in.
our chest.
We had to lock in. You feel me? There's a lot going on, So, but listen, we could never, ever, ever end the show without doing your favorite segment, and that's hot spots, baby. So we gonna go into hot spots, man. What you got for hot spots?
So my first house spot of the week is going to go to Darby versus Ciampa from AEW. Felt like that match was super killer. It was really the great way to kick off Darby's title reign. It's a great way to make Ciampa look like a main event player. He almost had Darby, but Darby just out willed him, out tough, like his toughness outlasted him, and I think that's what will be Darby's crux for his title reign is making matches chaotic and using his toughness to outlast opponents. And that was exactly what this match was, chaos and from the jump. So Darby versus Ciampa is going to be my first hot spot of the week. My second hot spot of the week is going to be Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. These two got great chemistry. Like it shows in all of their matches, even down to NXT. And this match was no different. I really enjoyed this match. And my third hot spot of the week is going to go to Jacob Fatu between his promo on Raw, his promo on SmackDown, and his performance against Solo. And at the end, when he takes out the whole MFT and he's flying through the ropes and flying this way and then jumping off the top, just you could tell he's super locked in right now, and I can see that, and I'm loving every second of it. So those are going to be my three hot spots of the week.
Oh man, solid, solid, solid. So for me, my hot spots of the week, you feel me? We gonna start it off with my girl Sol Ruca. You already know it. You already know she was coming first, man. You feel me? Listen. I've been watching. I don't really watch a lot of NXT, but when I do, I'm always watching Sol Ruca. You feel me? Her moveset is fire. Her ability, her talent. Like she is one of those in ring performers that you were excited to watch. And I love watching her. I can't wait to see what WWE does with her on the main roster. Like, once again, she's one of those people, like, give her 2 months and she gotta have a title on her, bro, because she's just that talented. Um, Her and Liv Morgan had a banger match. Uh Obviously we're gonna see that match down the line with the championship on the line. I'm pretty sure of it. We gotta run that back. Um, so yeah, shout out to Sol Ruka. Number two, for me, would have to go to Jacob Fatu, of course. I think from Raw to SmackDown, he's showing like he is built for the main event. He is obviously one of the toughest and firest in-ring performers as well. His moveset is fire. It's just his charisma and his personality, like, just exponentially takes his um character or himself to the roof, through the roof. And I think this was a great way to establish him by having him go up against Roman Reigns. Um, Obviously, the match with him and Solo, with him turning up on the Tongans and the MFT was fire. I gotta go with Jacob, and I need that tracksuit. I'm not gonna lie to you. First of all, I need the tracksuit, I need the jeans, I need the shirt, I need the whole fit. I'm not gonna lie to you. The whole fit was hard. Um, in the third hot spot of the week, y'all know I could never go with show, especially if he's on the show, without giving last hot spot of the week to the OTC himself, OTC one, Roman Reigns. Need I say more? And new World Heavyweight Champion. Listen, he said he here all summer. That part-time stuff, which I was talking about, that's out the window. I'm here. I'm here to stay. Let's get it popping. Let's get it cracking. You feel me? OTC one. Acknowledge him.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to deal with Roman Reigns all summer.
Y- Yeah. Yeah. You already know what time it is. That's all I'm saying, man. But listen, those are our hot spots of the week. Let us know what y'all liked from the past 2 weeks, from the past week, of all the shows. If you rock with our list, if you would do something different, let us know, man. All right, let us know in the comments. But of course, that wraps up episode 37 of the Hot Tag Podcast. I know it was a long one, but listen, we'll be back right to it next week. You feel me? I don't see any days off, any weeks off. We're gonna be right back into the flow of things. You feel me? WrestleMania weekend, so we had to take a little, do something a little different. But listen, make sure y'all follow us on all our socials, like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us for more content. We appreciate all the love and the support. Without y'all, nothing is possible. All right, as always, that's Justin. I'm Rashaad, and always remember, stay sharp, stay fresh, and stay hot. Peace.
Peace.